Welcome to the Hair of the Dog podcast. I'm Nicole Begley, and today our very favorite Hair of the Dog podcast guest, Heather Lahtinen, is back, and her and I are having a conversation about money, our money stories, how to start to change them, and how to bring some upgrades into our lives. This is going to be the first of many money podcasts that we're going to be hosting. We're going to be doing one per month through the rest of the year, and we are so excited to chat about this with you. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Hair of the Dog podcast. If you're a pet photographer ready to make more money and start living a life by your design, you've come to the right place. And now, your host, pet photographer, travel addict, chocolate martini connoisseur, Nicole Begley.
Hey everybody, Nicole here from Hair of the Dog, and welcome back to the Hair of the Dog podcast. Today, I have a special guest. You guys know her. You guys love her. You love when she's on the podcast. Heather Lahtinen from the Flourish Academy, also Hair of the Dog Elevate Coach. Heather, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I am particularly excited about our topic today.
Oh my gosh. Me too. And not only is this a topic for today, we have so much to share on the subject that we decided that this should be a once a month topic, I don't know, for at least the rest of 2021.
I think that's a great idea because there's no way, when we were preparing for the recording today, we thought there's no way we could share everything we need to talk about in one episode. So let's make it a series.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I think a lot of you guys are going to like this too, because I think everybody wants to make more money in their life, right?
So when I teach money training, I always say, I intro it and then I say, oh, wait a second. I'm actually assuming you want more money. Is that an accurate assumption?
Nah, fine. Yeah. So this is a pretty universal thing that, we want to continue to increase our net worth. We want to continue to increase the flow of abundance and money into our life. And that, my friends, is what we are talking about today, about our money stories, about our relationship with money, about, all these charged things. Like if there's one thing other than politics or like talking about pandemic to vaccinate or not vaccinate, like money might be as charged as those things, if not more, because it's just, I think because, on the face of it, it's just a piece of paper or like a little hunk of metal, right? That we've decided that it's worth something. But I think it goes down to subconsciously, we know that in our society, you can't survive without money. Like it is a actual need to have for our physical and mental safety and to be able to keep a roof over our heads and food on the plate. So therefore, all these stories, all these experiences that we create throughout our life or happen to us, or that we then change the meaning of whatever happened, just become so charged. Like they have so much emotion behind them because the underlying need of this money for us to survive in the world that we live in.
I think that's the key word. It's emotional. There's so much emotion around it. So I'm holding in my hand right now a $100 bill, crisp, clean, new. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you're right. It is just a piece of paper with some printing. It's green. It's not even particularly pretty or nice to look at.
It is in other countries.
Is that right?
In Australia, they've got like kookaburras and New Zealand has like penguins, and in Costa Rica they have sloths. We actually called them Sam from Dog Breath Photography, Kaylee's other half. He called them sloth dollars the whole time they were there.
That is fantastic.
It was hysterical.
Yeah, I did not know that. So you're more well versed in money around the world. So anyway, I'm holding this $100 bill. And there's definitely emotion involved with this because I am feeling something as I look at this, especially if there were a stack of them. I would feel good. I would feel secure. I have found for me, my mood is tied directly to money. By the way, that's not a good thing. I'm not proud of that. And when I look at my bank account and what's going on with my business, when things are going well, I'm happy. And when they're not, I am upset or I'm trying to find out. And what that means, Nicole, is there's work to be done because I'm giving away my power to money. And I don't want to do that. Now, I don't know that we'll ever fully eliminate that, but could I just dial it down a notch? Because it's not serving me if my mood is tied directly to logging into my bank account, right? That's not,
Right.
You want to get that internally. So, I want to be able to internally just be in a good mood and choose that versus the external forces that then dictate my mood. I don't want to be in this position. So let's work on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this also ties back into, gosh, this could be a whole nother episode on like the be, do, have model where, a lot of us mistakenly think, oh, once I have this amount of income in my business, once I have this amount of dollars in my bank account, then I can do something, or I can feel something, or I can be worthy, or I can be successful, or I can be happy, or insert the adjective here. And it's backwards. It's backwards. You will never reach that. Money will never cause you to reach that. That's something that's available inside all of us right now. And if you can dial into that and feel that abundance and feel that frequency, then you can get that 3D money that you're looking for. Because, all right, I'm going to go off the little woo rails a little bit here, but it's actually quantum physics. And that is, money is just energy. It's just this frequency that we put out into the world of, that attracts it back to us or repels it away from us or causes it to leave our bank account in an emergency spend or whatever it is. And I mean, we all have this just kind of energetic comfort level of where we're comfortable with whatever. I could tell you exactly where it is. Like, just open up your bank account and the amount in there is where your comfort level is. It's that easy. So we really just need to kind of focus on this relationship that we have with our money, which, as we mentioned, is so multifaceted. And the things that I just mentioned we could talk about it for like a week, but this podcast is like an hour. So I guess we need to like dial it in for step one.
I think so. But just to reiterate what you're saying, I can't remember which celebrity said this. I want to say it was Jim Carrey. He said something like, "Oh, yes. I wish everybody could have $10 million in their bank account so that they could see it doesn't change things." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People say, well, if I had enough money, I would be happy. If I had enough money, I would be more relaxed. But the truth is, you have to be more relaxed and happy in order to attract money. So it is definitely backwards from what people think, working from the inside out versus the outside in.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So today we have a fun little exercise. So we're going to dive right into the exercise, or do we want to, how do we want to start this exercise off?
That's a good question. I want to start by saying, I wanted to tackle this one thing because this was the very first thing that you taught me. This had to be at least 5 or 6 years ago. You brought this concept to me and it was a struggle. It was really difficult. And I'm just thinking, if I struggled with this, maybe others do as well. But once I figured this out and sort of pushed through the emotion, it really helped shift my thinking. So tell us what this concept is.
Sure. So this concept is basically, it's helping us to kind of just up level in these little tiny pieces, because again, changing our feelings, like starting to recognize the thoughts that we're thinking that are leading to our emotions, that are leading to like, all these other things that we're feeling and experiencing in life. It's hard to sometimes recognize, and it's hard to change it by like flipping a switch. So a lot of times we need these little incremental upgrades, and we need these little incremental upgrades in ways that help us get comfortable and experience more abundance. And then when we get comfortable and experience this new level of abundance, then our comfortability at that level raises, and then we can be open to a new level. And you just keep up leveling all these things, and you're doing it in such a little stepping stone pattern that there's not this giant, uncomfortable, super scary, questioning yourself because they're little tiny things like toilet bowl cleaner or socks that we'll talk about in a minute. So it's really just looking at little places in our life where we can make small choices, small upgrades that deliver huge emotional benefits, really, by they like small dollars equal large emotional payouts.
Right. So what you had said to me was, we had just built our homestead and we were hemorrhaging money. I mean, it was actually the only time in my adult life where I was a little bit nervous. And you said to me, you need to upgrade your environment. And it was something small, just upgrade something that you look at every day that will make you feel more abundant. What could you upgrade that would make you feel better when you looked at it? Again, something you see every day. And I was so frustrated. And I was like, Nicole, you don't understand. There's no money. I mean, I'm telling you, there is no money. We have spent it all to build this homestead and there's nothing I can do. So I was in this weird catch-22. And I wonder if anybody can relate. You're telling me to upgrade my environment so that I feel more abundant, but I can't because I don't have the money, which actually makes me feel worse. I feel like there's more scarcity. So I sat on what you said because sometimes I'm a little bit slow. I sat on what you said. I don't remember. It was maybe a couple of days. And I trust you and everything that you're telling me. I'm thinking I need to do this. I just feel really frustrated. So I looked around, what could I do? And one day I was getting ready in my bathroom and I noticed that my garbage can was just a wreck. It was like filthy, ground in stuff that you could not clean off. It was plastic, but it just looked terrible. I mean, it looked like it should be in an alleyway somewhere, like not my nice bathroom, right? And I thought, I need to get a new garbage can, but I don't have any money. Okay, whatever. So I went to Walmart and I bought I don't know, I'm sure it was less than $10. It was probably like $9.99 and it's plastic. I still actually have it to this day. This little garbage can, I bought it because it was new and it was clean. And I decided I was going to upgrade my environment in two ways. One was with the garbage can. And secondly, you won't even believe this, I spent the money on garbage bags to fit it. What? I had never done that. I had never bought.
You weren't using like the store plastic, whatever, like actual.
No. So which is why the garbage can, ended up deteriorating is because I was not putting a bag in it. I know there's probably people laughing at this thinking like, Heather, that's so simple. Like, what do you mean you weren't putting a bag in? Okay, relax. Save your judgment. I wasn't. I don't know. So I buy this new garbage can. I put the new I even bought like the brand name garbage bags that smell nice. This was, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you guys, this was actually a really big deal to me because it was something I see every day. And when I saw that gross garbage can, I was subconsciously telling my brain that that's what I was worth. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't worth anything more than that, but dirty, ground in dirt on an old plastic garbage can.
So one of the other things, even if you're not telling yourself subconsciously that like you are equal to the trash can, but you're telling yourself subconsciously that it's okay that you're just living around this environment of something. Every time you see it, you just know you're like, ugh. It makes you energetically kind of go, ugh, and some people it might not bother. But if you look at that and it makes you kind of like make that meh, then okay, let's maybe talk about upgrading it, especially when it's something that is so inexpensive to upgrade.
And so simple. And I think what you said is key. It's a tolerance thing. Even if you think it doesn't bother you, I would argue that the message you're sending to your subconscious is this is what I tolerate in my life. And this is okay. Exactly. And this is the level I'm at. And we had built a brand new home. The home was beautiful, is beautiful. And my bathroom is beautiful, but this garbage can was sending me a message that like, you're not worth it. You're not worth a nice garbage can. Okay, I know that's a stretch to say you're not worth it as an identity, but it certainly is a tolerance, what you put up with. So I bought the new garbage can. I got the new liners, and every day I would just smile because it's funny, you guys. It's hilarious that a garbage can would make such a difference. And I still use that garbage can, and it's nice and it looks new. Why? Because I use liners now. Oh, here's an idea.
I love it. I remember one of mine when I first kind of went through and I'm like, man, what can I upgrade? I think one area that is really easy to upgrade, and I think is overlooked by a lot of us, especially a lot of us women out there, and that is upgrading our underwear and sock drawer.
Oh my gosh.
Many of you are still putting on socks with the holes. My son does this. He puts on, actually, and my husband, I'm like, you guys, we can buy new socks. Like, you put them on, I do the laundry, and there's like this, my son has little feet. I mean, it's not quite 11. And you look at the socks and there's this giant, like $50 size hole in his heel, which is the whole heel. I'm like, buddy, we can get new socks. He's like, oh, well, they still work. I'm like, okay,
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to buy you new socks. But how good does it feel to pick up the pack of $10 socks at Costco, put it on your feet, and you're like, man, there's a party in my shoes today. This is amazing. And
Upgrade your
thing
socks.
with her underwear for the longest time, Heather, I'm embarrassed to admit it. I would keep wearing like underwear with holes in it because it's like, well, they still fit. Like,
yeah, nobody sees them really.
Yeah, right. Like, what's the point?
Right.
But again, like I can go buy a little pack of underwear at Costco for like $10 and it feels like $1 million. And if you really want to get crazy, you can go buy fancy underwear, but whatever, just buy underwear that doesn't have holes.
Right, exactly.
This is your public service announcement brought to you by Hair of the Dog Academy today.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. But I mean, we jest because when we say upgrade your environment, we're not saying you need to remodel your home.
Right.
We're talking about something small. What could you do today that is small, but something you see every day that would remind you that you are worth it, that you like finer things.
And I want to throw in there too, you don't have to go purchase something. This doesn't mean you need to go consume. It can be, I am going to clean off my desk and put everything away in my office.
Clear it out. So you're clearing the space to upgrade your environment so that you send a message to your brain that a champion works here. I challenge you, everyone listening, to look at your desk right now or your space, wherever you're at, your car, look around. Does a champion live there? That's a tough question to answer because there are days when I look at my office and I'm like, no, a champion does not live here. But I ask myself that pretty often and then I change it. I clean it. I clear it. I put things away because I tell my kids, I drive them crazy. I say, this is a house of champions and champions don't live like that. So I take it pretty seriously. I know that some people, because I can sense the doubt, there are some people who are like, I don't know that this matters or that this is really worth it or it would change anything for me. And again, I say this all the time, but what does it hurt to try? You cannot believe what we're saying, but what does it hurt to clean your desk or your car or buy a new garbage can or some new socks? It does not hurt. Nobody gets hurt. So why not try it just to see if you can up level things in your life?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I know I tend to, I need Marie Kondo. That's her name, right? Marie Kondo.
Yes.
I needed her in my life when she came into my life because I have, when I was a teenager, you used to not be able to see the floor of my room. You know, it was bad. And my husband is very organized and dare I say even a neat freak. And I tend to be more, especially before I upgraded my life into my Remarkable 2 like Kindle like tablet thing. I used to have like 37 notepads all over my desk because my brain is always going 8,000 miles a minute. And I'm like, I have to write this down. I have to write that down, but I can't tear it off because then it'll get lost or, misordered. And so now I have to keep these 37 things on my desk. And when they start to pile up, you can't concentrate. I can't. Even when I am used to kind of that level of disarray, when you actually clean it and you put it, everything in its place and you go through the things and get rid of the things that you no longer need, send them off with love to somebody else that they can use, it just opens up so much space. And like you're able to approach your work, your personal life, all the things you need to do from this space of just more ease because your mind is no longer preoccupied with like, oh my God, I'm going to get crushed by notebooks.
The notebooks are going to kill me because the avalanche is going to fall over and I am going to be dead on the floor, buried in my own notebooks. That's hilarious.
And
I was actually talking about this recently, a few days ago, inside of Elevate. I was saying, I was talking about clearing space so that you can be open to receiving because you are actually blocking that process by keeping things cluttered. So opening the space opens up literally, physically, metaphorically, all of the things, opening up the space for things to be received, whether that's money or opportunities or ideas, whatever that looks like, business for you, more clients, but it has to be cleared in order to do that. And part of that is about upgrading your environment. Real quick side story back to the bedroom. Of course, I was a normal teenager as well, where, there was stuff all over the floor of my bedroom, but my dad cured it one day. When I was 15 years old, I was out on my first date and he decided to take everything that was on my floor that shouldn't be there. So this was everything except the bed and the dresser, every single thing. And he threw it out the window into like the front driveway. My room was on the second story. So when I came home from my first date, my stuff was strewn all over the front porch and the driveway. A bra's hanging in a tree. Like there's just stuff everywhere. And my dad was pretty hardcore, but guess what? Things were never on my floor again.
No.
Yeah, that's messed up.
We're hoping it doesn't come to that for you guys.
Yeah.
But it is effective. I might have to dig into that. I have a house full of teenagers here shortly. So
okay. Can I share a story about how I turned this? I had a scarcity moment that I then turned into the positive by upgrading my environment. Mm-hmm. So I was visiting with a friend. This is several years ago. Her and her husband had just built their home, and this was a multi-million-dollar, fancy pants home. Like, wow. And she's giving me a tour and she said, "You need to use the restroom." And I said, "No, good." She said, "No, you need to use the bathroom." And I said, "No, actually, I'm fine. Thank you." And she said, "Use the bathroom." Okay. I was like, "All right, relax. I'll go in the bathroom." So the reason she wanted me to do that is because they had this new toilet. And I was like, I used the restroom, could not figure out how to even flush it because it was like there was a computer screen on the wall. It was very, very high tech. The seat was warm. It was a warmed seat. And so I came out and she was like literally standing right outside the door. And she's like, "What did you think of that experience?" I said, "That's amazing. I have to have one. I have to have a toilet like that." It had bidet functions and water temperatures and just everything you can think of. But I just liked the warm toilet seat. And she said, "Well, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, we ended up getting it for half price, but the full price is $5,000. And I looked at her and I said, $5,000 for a toilet that I could buy at Lowe's for $150. Yes, that is not automated. I just don't ever see that happening." And she said, "Yeah, but it's worth it, isn't it?" She's like, "We only have one in the house. We didn't get them in every bathroom. The kids don't have one. It's just us." And I was like, "Okay," and I kind of laughed. And on my way home, I felt really dejected. Like I was experiencing some serious scarcity because I thought I'll never be able to afford a $5,000 toilet. And even if I could, would I buy it? I don't know. But it was negative. It was a negative experience for me, not around her or it was my own emotion. My emotions
your own
were
stories.
Yeah. I was triggered into my own stories. So a couple of days later, I was searching on the interwebs and I found a heated toilet seat on Amazon. I'm pretty sure the price was $119. And I thought, I want that toilet seat. I like the heated toilet seat. So I put it on my Christmas list. And that year, there's this hilarious picture of me holding my brand new toilet seat. So funny. I love that toilet seat. And every single person that comes to my house, I'm like, "Make sure you use the bathroom, go into my bathroom." And they all end up buying it. This 119, it has a night light too. So if you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it has this really pretty subdued blue light. It's not obnoxious. And you sit down and it's warm and it's nice. And have you used that toilet seat when you've been here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was first introduced to the heated toilet seat in Japan. They have heated toilet seats everywhere there, and they're amazing. And if I still lived in Pittsburgh, where we had a long winter, I would 100% have one. Yes. But I would actually need an air-conditioned toilet seat down here in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's hot there, right? Right. But I even leave it on in the summer. Like it's supposed to be 88 degrees today, and my toilet seat is turned on low. It has 3 settings, and it's turned on. But anyway, my point to that is I love that toilet seat. I experience it multiple times a day. It was an upgrade for me, and it made me feel really good and abundant. It up-leveled my environment. So I took what started out as a scarcity, negative, kind of bummed out situation, and I made it work for me, and it actually became something of abundance. And again, upgrading and up-leveling my environment. And while we're here, by the way, did I not just share another toilet story with you a few weeks ago?
Oh, yeah, you did. And then I realized that somebody in my house bought the same thing that you used to have. And I was like, what the heck? Nope.
Okay, so I have this thing. Well, we all have things around money. Weird things, maybe. But there are things I just don't like to spend money on. And one of them is toilet bowl cleaner. So I will go buy the cheapest toilet bowl cleaner because who wants to spend their money on that, right? I can think of a million other things I'd rather save that for. So I recently bought another really cheap, like I think I was at the Dollar General. I'm looking for in the dollar section for the cheapest toilet bowl cleaner they have. I come home, I'm cleaning the toilet.
It's like water. It's like you might as well not even be using toilet bowl cleaner.
And it stained it. It literally stained my toilet. And I was standing there and I actually Voxered you and I said, I cannot believe that I am tolerating a toilet bowl cleaner that doesn't smell that great because I love the smell of bleach in my bathroom, because it like means it's clean. It doesn't even smell that great. And it stained my toilet. Like I'm done. I was so mad. I literally got in my car and went and bought the brand name, the most expensive, which is, I think, Lysol in my Walmart. The toilet bowl cleaner that smells like bleach, that probably because it has bleach, and I love it. And I sent you a picture, and I threw the old stuff away, and I bought the good toilet bowl cleaner because I don't have to live this way, Nicole. I don't have to live with cheap toilet bowl cleaner.
I know. I understand. Yeah, I always got mine at Costco with like the good stuff, and it was like deep blue and smelled good. Agreed. And somehow we needed one extra one, and somebody picked up the cheap stuff. And I sent you a Voxer picture. I'm like, who brought this into my house?
No more. Don't bring this into my house. That's so something simple like that could be. And also, I have one more story to share on upgrading. Is I was working with some of our clients actually last year on this topic. So we gave them this challenge, and I wanted a new vacuum cleaner, and I wanted one of those Bissell Crosswaves that has, that like mops and suctions at the same time. And they're just over $300. And I was like, oh, who wants to spend $300 on a stupid vac? Okay. But I was like, no, I'm trying to teach this stuff, so I have to live it. So I'm going to order this. It's fine, whatever, So I order this Bissell Crosswave. It comes, I actually take a photo of me with it. I posted in our group. This was our Hair of the Dog group. And I said, I upgraded my environment. Yeah, it was expensive. Okay. That very day, I got a letter in the mail from the IRS. Now, I don't know how you feel.
That's always like a little nerve wracking. Although I figure if it doesn't come certified, then it should be okay.
So it was in the type of envelope that your very first thought is going to be, oh crap, I owe them money, because there's like a return envelope in there, and I had this moment of like, oh my gosh, how much do I owe them? Or something got messed up. And then I was like, stop. Literally out loud, I said this. This is a check. I am so amazing that the IRS is sending me money because they screw things up. That's how awesome. And I said this, I repeated this out loud multiple times prior to opening it, because I was like willing this, like, oh, no, they're not asking me for money. They're actually sending me a check. Okay. I realize how far-fetched this is as I'm saying it, but I did it anyway. I opened this envelope and I had overpaid on something, and it was a check for $300, which was the same price as that vacuum cleaner I had just purchased.
That's so funny.
I can't even make this up. So I took a photo of it, and I said to the people, our Hair of the Dog friends, I was like, you guys will not even believe this is how it works. This is abundance in action. I took the leap before that check came. It can't be the opposite. You can't wait for that check to come and then say, I'm going to buy the $300 vacuum cleaner. You need to upgrade, up-level your environment, find a way to do it, and then things start flowing. Isn't that an amazing story?
It is. I love it. And I've heard stories like that left and right all the time. So this is fairly common that things like that happen that way. And we actually have, though, do we want to do our upgrade quiz to get people starting to think about things that they can upgrade or where they currently are in their life for different areas?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have different categories and different ways that you can up-level your life, upgrade your environment, but you could do something in your house in general. Now, if you're feeling really into this and you're like, yeah, I'm going to upgrade my location in my neighborhood, I'm out of here, then good for you. That's actually something that you can do.
I upgraded my location.
You sure did. You sure did. So Pittsburgh to North Carolina, big move. But you could, your house. So if we're talking about your house in general, yeah, you could move, but you could clean out your garage. You could get a new garbage can. You could maybe replace a chair that is worn. You could do something in your kitchen you could buy a new paper towel holder. This like really pretty.
Yeah, right.
If you just have like something normal. And I mean, there are a million different things. Just look around. Just look around and find something that feels within reach to you. So if it's a stretch, it might not be the right thing. So moving your neighborhood might not be the right thing for you.
I have one for people in our audience. How about that dog bed that doesn't match your decor?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Or that dog bed that you've washed a million times but still smells.
Yeah. Yeah. Or has a hole. Actually, the one in my office. You've inspired me. Next time I go to Home Goods, I'm going to upgrade Zoe's dog bed because I like the colors and everything, but it is so dirty and gross and there's a hole in it. So her office dog bed's getting upgraded.
Good for Zoe. Good for you. Because you see it every day, Nicole. You're in that room every day. Yep. Right. So that's a few things just in general for your home. But I had mentioned your kitchen. Could you just do a deep clean of your kitchen? And when you see it, you feel happy.
There's one that I know it's like the socks and the underwear, and that's your baking sheets. Ooh. And did you know when you go to Home Goods, they're like $10 to get new baking sheets. And you're like, why have I been using these stained, sticky, gross baking sheets for so long when new ones are $10? And then they are like, the quality has been improved so much in the 15 years since I bought the other ones.
Right.
I'm like, oh, look, and things don't stick to them. It's amazing.
You just reminded me as you were saying that, what we do is we buy really cheap glasses that we drink from. And then they get marred or spotty, I'm wondering if I should upgrade our drinkware.
Oh, this is a fun conversation.
Yeah,
all right.
That's a good idea. Okay, let's move into the bathroom. I talked about my garbage can. I talked about the toilet bowl cleaner. But what about your toothbrush or toothpaste? Is it time to do something? Because that's actually something you use multiple times a day. And again, you're sending yourself a message about what you will tolerate. Here's a good one for me. A few years ago, I upgraded my shampoo and conditioner. So I used to buy just like the cheapest,
Me
whatever.
Too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was not doing my hair any favors. And my stylist would often recommend, but I thought she's just trying to sell me, No, well, she is trying to sell me, but she's probably also trying to help me. So I upgraded to really fancy salon grade shampoo and conditioner. And Nicole, that was probably 3 or 4 years ago. My hair is a million times better than it was back then because of that upgrade. So anything like toiletry wise, your body wash, anything like that.
How about towels? Do you have towels that are stringy and gross and stained?
Yeah. I do. They're not stringy,
but they're
definitely
dog
stained.
Now.
Yeah. They're definitely stained. Okay, let's move into the bedroom. Ideas in the bedroom. Could you upgrade your pillows or your sheets or maybe get a mattress topper? So my mom recently purchased go.
I did this recently with the mattress topper. So our bed's a little bit older and we would go through like, it's time to upgrade our mattress. It's like 15 years old. I think you're supposed to upgrade them every 8, which seems excessive. But anyway, it was starting to get to the point where I'm like, I don't know, it's time to upgrade. And I was at Costco and they had this like big foam topper and we bought it. I'm like, what the heck? It's $120, maybe $150. We'll just test it out. It is the most amazing thing. You slept on it when you were down here.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Because we got one for the guest room and we decided we're only going to put it on the guest room bed for people that we want to stay longer, and the people that we don't want to stay too long, we will take it off.
That's
just kidding.
Hilarious.
We leave it on all the time.
So funny. Right.
But that, and then the other thing that I had the hardest time finding are sheets that were quality and lasted and were also comfortable. I don't know why it's been so flippin' difficult. And here's the other thing. It was like, like you're spending $100 for sheets, $80 is a king size bed, $80 for like basic sheets. And they were never that comfortable and they would always get pilly and they would always get gross. And then my mom was like, oh, you need the LL Bean sheets. I'm like, really? Yeah.
Okay.
They were a bit more expensive. It was like $250 for a set.
Okay. Wow.
And it took me a while to be like, but here's the thing. I had already spent like $300 on flipping sheets, buying 3 different pairs that stunk. And
that's true.
Then I finally just bit the bullet and I got those for our room and I got some for the guest room. And they are the best sheets I have ever slept in. They are so comfortable. So LL Bean sheets. Yep.
Yeah. So between the mattress topper and the sheets, you're doing great. My mom did the same thing recently.
My bed is first class.
It is. And I mean, you spend a lot of time there. Hopefully 7 to 9 hours per night. I mean, that's a big chunk of your day. My mom purchased the My Pillow pillow.
Oh,
and
right.
she loved the pillows. So she bought the Mattress Topper, and she has been raving about that. She is 75 years old, has really severe arthritis, and is in a lot of pain, multiple back surgeries. And she said this has really, really helped her. So could you upgrade something in your bedding? The answer is probably yes. Okay. Moving on. What does your office or your business space look like if you have one? Does it, invoke a sense of peace and calm, or does it trigger you and make you crazy?
I've got one for the office. How many of you are using hodgepodge random free pens that you got anywhere? Or have you found pens that you love and you just bought a pack of 10? So you actually had pens that you enjoy.
I did this recently because I have cheap pens, a million of them. I hate them all. So here was my new thing, Nicole. Whenever I pick up a pen and I start to write and I hate it, I immediately throw it away. I don't even question it. It just goes in the garbage. And I recently found the Sharpie S Gel, which I love. And then I found out I could brand it and put my logo on it. So I ordered, it was either 150 or 300. It was a lot. I have a lot of these pens, and that's all I have are my branded pens. So I think everybody should put their logo on something because it makes you feel legit. Like my business has a pen, I must be the big time, or at the very least the real deal. So I have these pens everywhere. And then you have the same pens, right?
I sure do. Thanks for doing that legwork.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was worth it. Okay, your chair in your office. What does your desk look like? Could you upgrade your decor? Could you organize your power cables? Are they just all over the place? Could you purchase? Side note, I highly recommend having a UPS device with your machines. That's an uninterruptible power supply, not just surge protection, but actually has a battery backup so that when your power goes off, your machines stay on until you can safely shut them down.
Oh.
Could you get one of those? Yeah, I have one under my desk. So the power goes off. It just tells me, I think it will power everything for 30 minutes or an hour. So I could actually even keep working until I shut it down. I mean, we put important things on these uninterruptible power supplies, like my iMac and the internet. I don't literally care about the food. Nothing else matters. Can I get on the internet? So a lot of people let their cables get in disarray. If you go to Target and buy even just a surge protector, a fancy looking, my daughter and I, she's moving into her dorm next week, and we were looking for a power supply for her room. And she's like, oh, I'm going to get this one because it's pretty. And I was like, well, that's fair. I mean, if it looks nice, it will make you feel better. And speaking of your office, what about the tools you use for your business? The software, if you use business cards, do you have a printer? How about this one? Everybody's on Zoom these days. Do you have a decent microphone? Even if you're not a podcaster or a leader, you are still getting on Zoom calls. Are you using the mic on your earbuds or just even your machine? You can pick up a really good mic for less than $100. And it really improves your audio quality. So that's a really nice upgrade.
And your background, if you're on Zoom with clients, what's behind you?
What is behind you? You can change that virtual, but I don't think it looks as nice. But yeah, what is behind you? Okay, moving on. We talked about this a little bit, but self-care. So we were talking about toiletries and products.
This is a huge one.
But this is probably one of the biggest, because here's why. Even if you up level your environment, you upgrade a purchase, when you do it for yourself, it sends an entirely different new level of a message to your brain. It's like, whoa, you really are worth it because you just spent money on you. So are you used to buying something really cheap for yourself, like your shampoo or conditioner, or maybe your skincare, that you could splurge and buy something that's a little more luxurious?
And it doesn't even have to be buy something. What does what you choose to put in your mouth and what you choose to eat say about your up-leveling of your self-care or exercise Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought of that. So your diet.
Yeah, because truly, without, and we've all heard it before, but until you end up in the situation where you don't have it, without our health, we don't need our business or anything else of these upgrades we're doing, because our health is by far our most important thing. And how many of us put that on the back burner and say, oh, I'll start exercising when I have more time, when I get this project finished. I am guilty of this night and day. You're really good, Heather. You work out like every day. I've been bad. And, you get these momentary glimpses, like, I broke my finger a couple weeks ago and all of a sudden I couldn't type and I couldn't do this. And it's just a teeny tiny little finger and it's going to be healed in a month. But, it makes you realize, you're like, wow, I need to be A, really grateful that I have my health, and B, I better get my butt in gear and take care of it and make better choices with what I eat and how I move my body.
Immediately. So the thing for me is the working out every day, Nicole, it's just not an option. It's not an option. It is going to, and there are days when I don't feel great and I certainly don't put in as much effort, but I show up every single day. Just not make it a non-negotiable. Like this is because here's why people don't, is because it's easier to do something in the short term, like get your work done or, attend to your responsibilities, than deal with something that's future paced. Like, oh, I want to protect my back. So, okay, what's the number one thing that happens to elderly people? Okay, I'm making this up. I don't have any statistics. So everybody settle down. But like elderly people fall. And when they fall, they break something. Usually it's a hip. When an elderly person falls and breaks their hip, it's like the end. They end up in a home, they end up with pneumonia, and they can never recover from that. And that's a function of balance. I actually have a real serious focus on improving my balance in my workout routines. Every single day when I brush my teeth, I do that 3 times a day. I stand on one foot. And I vary it because I'm doing anything and everything I can to work on my core and my balance so that I remain upright. That's the goal. I don't want to fall, right?
Right.
I know this sounds like people are going to think I'm out of my mind. But these little things, I just think that they compound over time and they add up. And when you choose the spinach over the ice cream, which trust me, I had ice cream last night, but I'm also going to have spinach today. You just feel better about that choice, don't you? Did you ever like really binge on pizza or something greasy and you're like, I don't feel great about that choice.
Yeah, right.
It tasted great in the moment. But then, right. So you have to future pace, like self-care. I'm glad that you brought that up about exercise and what you put in to your body, because it's huge.
And taking downtime for yourself.
Rest.
How many of us continue to work, or, go from our 9 to 5 to then building our photography business and just don't take a few minutes for ourselves. That's huge. And that doesn't cost a dime.
Right. Exactly. So that's great. Okay. Let's talk about your wardrobe and what you wear. You've already talked about underwear and socks, which is great. Today, I am wearing a new shirt that I love. It's from a store near us called Marshall's. And this shirt is so Heather. It's floral. It's frilly. It has ruffles. And it was marked down from $88 to $8. I got this shirt for $8 and I absolutely love it. And I feel so good in it. When you feel good in something that you are wearing, it changes your posture. When your posture changes, the energy and message that you send out into the world about who you are changes and it shifts. And it is a huge deal. Posture is a huge deal. And posture can be improved, by saying, oh, I'm going to stand taller and straighter. But most people don't do that because they're not aware. But it can be improved secondarily by what you wear. What if you went out and got a pair of pants that actually fit you? So maybe you're wearing pants.
My pajama pants that I'm wearing right now.
Right.
Heather and I are exact opposites in our wardrobe. Although we do love our White House black market for the occasional times when I get dressed up like a real human. But otherwise, I'm a shorts and t-shirt kind of girl. Or in the case of a morning podcast recording, pajama pants, baby.
Oh my gosh. And I'm in like full regalia.
I will say these are upgraded pajama pants from Costco and they're so soft and amazing and I love them very much.
Okay. So they're nice pajamas. That matters. Like, you're not buying
they're not
like
ratty.
just the cheapest.
Don't have holes.
Right. But I heard something recently. I'm sorry. I can't remember where, but it was about wearing pants that fit and how much that can change your mindset.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm currently wearing some shorts this summer that are 100% too tight tight for me. Okay. They're too small and I know it. And it doesn't make me feel good when my pants are tight. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to the store and I sized up in my shorts. And that was a big move for me because I didn't want to increase that number.
Right. You're like, I don't want to.
Right. I don't want to go off a size.
They just shrunk from all the years of washing, Heather.
100%. That's what happened. So, and my husband is so kind. He's like, well, you're building muscle. So muscle is just, you just need something. But okay, whatever the reason. I went up a size and I bought 3 new pairs of shorts. Nicole, I love these shorts so much. I wear them every day. I cycle through them. Why? Because they feel good, they fit, and they look good. And I carry myself differently from when I was wearing my smaller shorts that I could barely button. Things are squishing out everywhere. It didn't feel good. So go buy a pair of pants that fit, and they don't have to be. If you want to upgrade to something fancy and spend money, that's fine, but you don't have to. You can find something very inexpensive, but put on a pair of pants that fit because it's going to make a difference. I love that one.
It is.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, lastly, 2 things I want to cover. These are just what we're doing here, sharing a bunch of ideas in different categories of your life where you could upgrade. I want to talk about leisure and travel, which the travel is still a little challenging, but getting there. The leisure you can still do. And then personal growth and development. So for travel, talk to me about your favorite way to maybe upgrade your travel.
Oh, baby, front of the plane all the way. Now, before all of you guys are like, oh, Nicole, I can't afford to fly business class. Yeah, I don't usually pay for it. I use miles and play the travel hacking game. And actually the hardest cancellation for us during COVID was May of 2020 when things were all crazy and shut down. Airlines had released their spring 2021 travel. I'm like, oh my gosh, business class Malta or Saver award seats to Malta for the whole family. All 4, because usually you can't get business class Saver seats for 4 people to Europe when the weather's decent ever. Booked it. For sure, by spring of 2021, everything will be open. That one was a little difficult to cancel. And so now I'm looking for next summer, and the front of the plane is a little bit more booked. Not quite as available, but that's okay. I will fly my award seats and coach if I have to. But yeah, being able to sleep on an overnight flight is just an incredible upgrade.
Yeah, I've only done it, I think, 2 or 3 times in my life where I've upgraded to first class, and it has been glorious.
It is.
I wouldn't do it like on my flight to you. It's an hour, less than an hour. Yeah. But if I'm flying more than a couple hours.
I did a girls' weekend in New Orleans a couple years ago, and it was only $60 to upgrade to the front of the plane to fly home. Whoa. I was like, because it was a short flight. I'm like, I'm definitely going to do that because I just want more room. So it's all relative. To upgrade to fly to Australia, it's certainly more expensive than upgrading on an hour-and-a-half domestic flight.
Right.
But yeah, use those miles. If you guys want any help with the travel hacking, you just let me know. Search on Hair of the Dog Academy. We'll actually link it in the show notes. I actually wrote a whole post about all my different credit card ecosystems.
Yeah, you have really helped me with this, and I haven't paid for a hotel room in 5 years because of it. Yeah, so that's great. Okay, but this category was leisure and travel. So let's talk about leisure for a second. What about some fun hobbies? Is there a hobby or something you want to cultivate or learn that's just for you? This is like a bonus upgrade because it's self-care as well. It's fun. It's just for you. You're taking the time to do it. It could be something you don't pay for, or you could, I joined a program a couple of days ago. It's a braiding boot camp, and I'm going to learn how to braid hair really fancy. Okay, why did I do that? Because I think it unlocks a level of creativity when you do something different. So I wanted to learn how to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pay the money. I'm going to do it. It's a fun hobby. And okay, so what? I send a message to myself. You're worth having fun. You're worth downtime that isn't tied to productivity or business, because it's actually something I'm working on personally. I tie my worth to my productivity, and I'm trying to shift that by saying, okay, I can sit here and braid my mom's hair for an hour and spend quality time with her, and it's okay. I know that seems like, of course, why wouldn't it be okay? But for someone like me, traditionally has not been okay, to allow myself that leisure. So this is about allowing yourself time, maybe read a book outside, maybe pick up a hobby. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
You could buy a baby horse and then you have to go to the barn 5 days a week. But caveat, the baby horse does come with risks such as said broken finger.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great. And that's just for you because you love horses. That's what you love to do. And so that's a great way to upgrade.
My daughter does too. So we get to spend quality.
Yeah, so you spend time together. So that checks a lot of things.
The bills are twice as expensive because there's two of us.
Right, because there's two of you. Right. Okay, let's lastly talk about personal growth and development, because you're listening to this podcast. And if you made it this far, that means you're interested in becoming a better person, a better version of yourself. So where could you invest in yourself for an upgrade? And actually in a recent episode of the Flourish Academy podcast, I talked about how to find a therapist. Or what about a mentor or a business coach? Could you spend more time reading or learning? Could you join a course? Could you jump into the Hair of the Dog Academy or the Elevate program? Investing in these things is not just about you learning the skill. Let's be clear. This is about upgrading and up-leveling your life and how you view what you're doing, either for a hobby or for a business. And it makes a difference because you send a message to your brain. It's like, I think of our elevators. When you jump into the commitment of Elevate, you're already winning from day one because you just sent a message to your brain that, wow, you're really serious about this, which actually, then trickles out to the universe, right? You're really serious about this, and you spent the money, you invested the time. Good things are going to come your way just by the sheer act of joining, even before you take any action at all. So could you join a group? Could you maybe mastermind with someone? Again, read a book. I'm a course junkie. I buy a lot of courses. I like to watch and learn. What is your approach to this?
I am the same. Yeah. And I think it is absolutely critical to have some sort of coaching in your life, no matter where you are. You and I have talked about this before. We've been part of a high level coaching program, me for a couple of years, like 3, almost 4 years now. I will never not have a coach in some capacity because it's just so incredibly helpful. So really, I'm just, always open for opportunities and looking for ways to continue learning. And I think anyone that is an entrepreneur or anyone that's running their own business, by nature, we are curious. We are interested in different things. We are, drawn to having the ability and power for, us to kind of create our own future. And so with that comes the trade-offs of being responsible for it.
Yeah.
And shameless plug, Hair of the Dog Academy opens on September 2nd. So go to hairofthedogacademy.com/academy, jump on that wait list, and we'd love to see you in there.
It's just not about the skills, you guys. The skills are so important, but it's the message you're sending to your subconscious and that you're vibing out into the universe that says, I'm here, I'm serious, and I'm worth it. And I care because I just invested this money. And yes, we have said this to each other multiple times. I will never, ever again be without a business coach, not for one single second. And I personally will never even be without a therapist. What are you? Have you thought about that?
Oh, I have. I just have not made my way around to moving forward on that yet.
I would recommend it.
I know. I just need to, it's a big decision of choosing who, not of doing it or not. So I need to just look into that.
I know you have something to say, but I have to stop you there. Yes, it is a big decision.
Yeah.
But you only have to meet with that person once. If you decide, oh gosh, that person is not for me, then you just go to the next person.
Right. I guess you have to find the first one. But
I did
it's me making an excuse. I realize it.
Because I did an episode. Actually, it was released today on the Flourish Academy podcast. It's titled How to Find a Therapist. I'm going to send it to you. It's 5 minutes and I share how to do it and how to pivot if it's not working.
Sweet. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, the other thing I was going to say about investing in coaching is the other thing that happens subconsciously too, when we actually take money out of our wallet, is that we then subconsciously are like, oh, we're more committed now. Because if you were to have free access to all of these things, then it's really easy Like I was just saying with like, oh, yeah, maybe one day I'll look and find that therapist. It's really easy because you don't have any skin in the game.
That's right.
But when you actually have to open up your wallet and pay something, you show up. This year, I joined a mastermind program that cost significantly more than what I was paying in the past. You bet your bottom dollar I've been at every single call. Whereas before, it'd be like, oh man, the call's at 6 o'clock. It's like dinner time. I'm tired. I'll catch the replay. So it just causes you to show up in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. What does our mentor say? How does he say it? That the transformation's
in the transaction.
That's it. That's it. When you put your credit card, when you slide it there, okay, you enter your card numbers on the internet, but you slide it through, you are now committed and you show up differently. You're right. And you and I both know this because we have in the past gifted some courses. This is before we had membership. So this is many years ago where you would gift a course to someone and they wouldn't do anything with it. And you're like, what's going on here? Well, they didn't pay for it. You don't value what you don't pay for. So, and it turns out the more you pay, the more you value it. So if you're paying significantly more for coaching, that's exactly why you're showing up.
Yep, exactly. So I hope you guys have found this episode helpful and have some ideas of ways you can upgrade and realize that it's not all about buying the most expensive thing or going out and spending a whole bunch of money, that it is really just looking at little things in your environment that you can do differently, that you could replace, that you can clean out, that you can declutter. And that just raises our internal vibration and our internal state and makes us just kind of happier and feel more abundant, in which case makes room for new ideas to come in, money to come in, new clients to come in, and all of the things to continue to up level. So I would love if you guys would share in whatever groups you're in, whether you're in the Academy Facebook group, if you're in our free Hair of the Dog Facebook group, if you're in Heather's Flourish Academy groups. I would love for you guys to share what you are upgrading after listening to this episode. And let's all get our upgrades on.
I would love that. I would love for people to tag me even personally, because I love the stories that come out of it. Specifically, when you upgrade something and you're like, and it's pushing you a little past your comfort zone. And then all of a sudden you get a check from the IRS. Stories like that are just incredible to me. Not that happens to everyone, but it's not always that immediate and obvious, but it does impact your future.
Absolutely. Tag us on the grams or send us a DM at Hair of the Dog Academy is me. Heather, what's yours?
At Flourish Academy.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much, Heather, for being here with us. If you guys enjoyed this money conversation, we will be back. Our commitment to you for the rest of the year, we're going to do a money conversation a month and start to change that relationship that we have with money in order to welcome more of it into our lives. So thanks for hanging out with us today, everybody, and I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, go ahead and take a screenshot of this episode on your phone and post it up there on your Instagram stories, and be sure to tag us at Hair of the Dog Academy. And we would just love to see how you're listening. And full disclosure, sometimes we just like to give away a little pet photographer swag in the form of Hair of the Dog t-shirts and sweatshirts. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and share that screenshot of this episode. And don't forget to tag us at Hair of the Dog Academy. And while you're there, maybe you want to jump on over to our account and see what we're up to on the gram. Would love to connect with you. Thanks for listening to the Hair of the Dog podcast. If you want to check out the show notes for access to any of the links that we shared in this episode, as well as any additional related resources, simply go to www.hairofthedogacademy.com/95. Once again, that's www.hairofthedogacademy.com/9
Thanks for listening to this episode of Hair of the Dog Podcast. If you enjoyed this show, please take a minute to leave a review. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. One last thing, if you are ready to dive into more resources, head over to our website at www.hairofthedogacademy.com. Thanks for being a part of this pet photography community.